This is my interview. What is your full name?
My full name is Leticia Rodriguez.
Where you born?
I was born in Bronx, New York.
How old are you?
I am 61 years old.
In what country and town have you lived in the majority of your life?
I've lived 38 years in Barranquitas. That is the majority of my life.
Did you go to school? If the answer is yes, up to what grade? Did you complete any profession or career? If the answer is no, why did you enter to school?
Okay. I studied elementary and middle school in Bronx, New York. I finished high school and the university in Puerto Rico. And I studied, I have a master's in science education.
How did school function when you were 9 years old?
Well, my school was very big. When I was 9 years old, I was in elementary school. It had 4 yards, a swimming pool. It had a gymnasium, and it had a lot of students. I had 4 different teachers. I studied English, mathematics, science, social studies, physical education, and swimming.
How was the house you lived in? Was it made of wood, cement, or other? Who lived with you?
My house was a very big house. It had 3 floors. My father was the owner. I lived in the middle floor. And I lived there with my mother, my father, and my 2 dogs, Vicky and Lucky Boy.
What activities did people do for fun in your time?
Well, we used to go to the movies. We used to visit our friends. We used to play in the park. We used to go ice skating. We used to go bowling.
Did you believe you are a part of history, and why?
Yes, I believe I am a part of history. I believe that everyone is a part of history because they live in a certain time in a certain place, and that is history.
Was agriculture an important part of life when you were growing up?
I lived in the city, so there was not a lot of agriculture. We used to buy the food, but I used to enjoy picking apples and pears because in my house there was a big yard and it had apple trees and pear trees.
Was agriculture an important part of life when you were? How much did milk and bread cost when you were 10 years old?
I was 10 years old. Milk was 35 cents. A quart of milk. Lo que nosotros decimos un litro. It's a quart, es un cuartillo. That was 35 cents. And a loaf of bread, a pound of bread, was 30 cents.
How did people from your generation dress? What kind of music did they listen to? What was the style like?
We used to listen to rock. I love rock. Women used to dress with mini skirts, boots, and bell-bottom pants. Men used to wear bell-bottoms and they had real long sideburns.
Do you remember any significant event that happened in the 1950 to 1960 that you want to share?
I don't remember 1950s because I was born in the 50s. I remember from 1960 on. And in the 60s, I remember the death of President Kennedy. I visited his tomb. I remember the death of Bobby Kennedy, his brother. I remember the death of Martin Luther King. I remember the Beatles. I remember the hippies, how they used to dress and give you flowers when you passed them. I remember Watergate. And I remember, oh, Dios mío, Woodstock. I remember Woodstock. It was a very big concert where a lot of hippies used to go.
What customs or tradition did people have back then that people today do not follow?
Well, when I was a little girl, people were very religious. They used to go to church. People were honest. People were not so violent. People are very violent today. And we didn't see too much crime.
Is there any message you want to share with the children of the class?
Some children make fun of their grandparents and old people. They say that they're old and that they're no good anymore. But we should remember that one day these children will be old people too, and they wouldn't like people to make fun of them. And when you are old, you live a lot. You have a very long life, and you see and you learn a lot of different things. So old people are very useful because they can help us because they have learned more than we have from life.
Thank you.
Thank you.